Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that is literally changing how we work, how we create, everything. We're moving way beyond just simple chatbots to get our hands on something much, much more powerful: autonomous AI agents. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. Imagine it. And look, this isn't some sci fi movie stuff. This is the potential that's available to us right now. It's the promise of using AI not just as a little helper, but as a full on, tireless team that works for you around the clock. So, where's the disconnect here? Where do most people get it wrong? Well, it all starts with a pretty big misunderstanding of what these tools can actually do. Yeah, you're seeing that right. A staggering 99% of people are using incredible tools like ChatGPT in a way that barely scratches the surface. They're asking it questions, treating it like a glorified search engine. And that, right there, is why they risk getting left behind. So, this is the crucial part. It's a total mindset shift. We have got to stop seeing a chatbot, a little conversational partner, and start seeing a powerful engine. See, a chatbot just responds to you, but an engine acts. It performs tasks, it builds things, it gets stuff done. And that is the key difference. And once you make that shift from chatbot to engine, that's when you meet the real game changer, the autonomous AI agent. This is where AI stops just talking and starts doing. And it really is that simple. You're not giving it a step-by-step to-do list, you just give it a destination, a final goal. The agent's entire job is to figure out all the little steps in between, all by itself. And this is probably the absolute best way to think about the difference. Using a regular chatbot is like using a calculator. You punch in the numbers, that's your prompt, and it spits back the answer. Simple input, simple output. But an AI agent, that's like a pilot. You just tell the pilot, hey, I want to go to Paris. You don't tell it the flight path or how to handle turbulence or the landing sequence. It handles the entire trip for you. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how in the world does it actually do that? Right? How does it get from a single goal all the way to a finished task? Well, it all comes down to the way it thinks. It sounds super complex, but it actually runs on a pretty simple logical framework. It's often called the chain of thought. It's not magic, it's just a repeatable loop. It goes from perception to planning to action. So here's how that loop works. First up, perception. Think of this as the agent opening its eyes, reading your goal, and really understanding what you want. Then comes planning, where it basically creates a roadmap, breaking down that big goal into tiny, manageable steps. And finally, action. This is where the agent rolls up its sleeves and gets to work, executing each one of those steps with whatever tools it has, like searching the web or writing code, until the job is done. All right, so that's the theory. Theory's cool, but the real power is in putting it into practice. So let's talk about how you can actually build your very own agent starting today. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? Moving from just knowing about this stuff to actually doing it. And the good news is, it's way more accessible than you probably think. You start small. First, just find some boring, repetitive task you have to do. Like data entry or sorting emails, stuff you hate. Second, pick a platform that's easy to use. There are amazing options out there like OpenAI's own GPTs or Agent GPT that don't need any coding. And third, and listen, this is the most important part. You have to give it crystal clear instructions. And don't breeze past this part, because these instructions are everything. You have to clearly define its role. Is it a research assistant? A social media manager? Then its goal. What is the one specific thing it needs to do? And finally, its boundaries. What should it not do? A big warning is to never leave an agent open-ended, because that's when it can go off the rails. Clarity is key. So once you've got one agent up and running and you've got the hang of it, that's when the real fun begins. Because now you can get them working together. And this is where things get really crazy, in a good way. Now here's a pro tip, something even the experts get wrong. They try to build one giant super agent that can do everything. But the truth is, a team of specialists is always going to be more powerful. So instead of one agent, you build a whole team. Imagine you need a detailed report. Agent 1? That's your manager. It just oversees the project. It gives tasks to Agent 2, the researcher, who goes out and finds all the info. Then the researcher passes all its findings over to Agent 3, the writer, who puts it all together into a final report. When they work like this in a system, errors go way down and your output goes way up. This right here is such a key piece of the puzzle.
We get so obsessed with, which AI model's the smartest. But an agent's real power isn't the brain. It's the resources you give it. What tools can it use? Can it browse the web? Can it access your files? And what about memory? Can it remember past conversations and learn? That is what separates a decent agent from a great one.
And that brings us to the bottom line. Let this one really sink in. The threat isn't the tech. The threat is being the person who doesn't know how to use it. Learning how to build and manage these agents isn't just a cool hobby anymore. It is quickly becoming a critical advantage in pretty much every field. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge because this isn't just about learning, it's about doing. Look at your to-do list for today. What's one annoying, repetitive, 10-minute task that you could hand off to a simple agent? Find it, build it, and start getting your time back. Thanks for tuning in.